Ladies and gentlemen, we are live.
I
How's it
liked
going,
it.
everybody? Hey,
Hey, y'all.
it's Mandy. I got Mandy over here.
Like what?
The famed creator of WART the Wizard, Pirate Queen, and what's your other one, Mandy?
Super Dead.
And Super Dead, which looks amazing, actually.
Thank
Out
you.
of, out of all the three, that's more my jazz,
Mhm.
personally. But you know, I'm partial to zombies, right?
Yes.
Hmm. Anyway, I'm very happy to have you here. We were just chatting about several different things. I told you in the prelude to this show that the idea is for me to get to know you a little bit better and get the viewers to know you a little bit better through me, and then delve into your exciting projects that you have live on Indiegogo. Everybody should check them out. We will
Yay.
also a little bit later on. But anyway, Mandy, it's good to have you.
Thank
Uh,
you. It's good to be here.
how are you
This is
feeling?
awesome, and I'm loving that shirt.
It's got a little bit of Panda Jesus going
You
on.
got some pandas going there. I like it.
Yeah, and it's like I can invert it.
Well,
And
what's on the other side? Oh, it's just black.
no, it's the shirt, but it's black and white. It inverts the color.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah,
Very cool. I like that you wore the pandas on the outside.
right. So, whereabouts are you from, Mandy? Because I've noticed you have a southern twang going for you.
Yes, a little bit southern. I'm in Georgia, so I'm on the west side of Georgia, like
Uh-huh.
northwest. So
Georgia,
about
that
30 minutes from
stinking
Atlanta.
that stinking swing state, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
We're having issues. Or
right,
they're having issues. I'm good. I'm not
right,
having issues, but they certainly are.
right. Yeah. But and how is it over there? Do you enjoy it or?
Yeah, I enjoy the weather.
Mm,
I always say when I talk to some of the guys that live up north, I would not make it there for 5 seconds because anything under like 76 degrees is freezing to me.
right.
So I actually would like to move a little bit further south just to get a little bit warmer because like we got a few nights this week even that's going to be like 35 degrees and
Mm,
that's not gonna work for me.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
maybe Florida one day. When I
Florida,
retire, I'll go to Florida.
Florida is one of my dream states I lived in LA for 8 years.
Did you really?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you
And
like it?
I loved it. I loved it. Yeah. It's very similar to Portugal, actually, but with a lot more cultural pulse,
Right.
a lot of,
I've been to Hawaii, so I've flown over California, but I've
uh-huh.
never actually been to California. But one day I want to go and like stick my hands where Marilyn Monroe put hers and, check do all the Hollywood LA type stuff, but never
Yeah.
got to go there yet.
And what about Hawaii? That I've always been super curious about Hawaii. I
Oh,
never
it is paradise.
really.
It's yeah. Well, I mean, like because you get off the plane, and as soon as you leave the airport, all you smell is salt water and
Wow.
like tropical flowers. Like it's just in the air.
And
And
do they give you the little thing, the wreath of?
yeah, yes.
They
They
do.
gave me the lei when I got there. Like three of the I want to call them flight attendants, but I don't think that's what they were. But they worked for the airport. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
they have women in full Hawaiian clothing, the
Wow.
grass skirts and the coconuts and everything. And they lay you when you get as soon as you get off the plane. And so you're smelling those around your neck. You're smelling the salt water. It's a amazing temperature year round. I think it stays like 75 year round. And
Wow.
there's breeze, that saltwater breeze coming off the ocean. It's amazing. If I could live there, hands down, that is where I would live. It's paradise. It's
Wow.
gorgeous.
Yeah, and then there's the amazing ocean, the amazing waves for surfers. If you're
Yes. Not much of a surfer.
Mm.
I feel like I would probably, spend the rest of my life just trying to stand on the board. I'm not very agile. So I would imagine I would probably, never even stand.
All
But
right.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
I boogie board. Maybe I could run and maybe boogie board across the shore. Maybe.
But were you athletic growing up, or not so much? That was new.
No, I'm clumsy. No, I can't. I can't walk and chew gum at the same time. I fall up steps.
Uh-huh.
No, I've never been athletic. I was a band nerd. So yeah, I was in the marching band and the concert
That's
bands.
cool. That's pretty cool. What did you do? Did you bang the drums or
No, I played the flute.
the flute? Oh, that's cool. Do you still do
Yeah,
that?
I did. Well, I just got it repatted not too long ago. I pulled it out of all of my high school stuff and I went and had my flute repatted. And I've been practicing again. But my lung capacity isn't what it was by the time I was a senior in high school and I'd been playing for 5 years. I could really hold the notes, and now it's been like 20 years. So I'm getting back in it though. I've pulled it out more or less. My little girl's at the age now where she's going to be really fun to teach that to. So I thought this would be, going and pre-start her a little bit in music. Her father's a musician professionally. So, get her playing before she picks up the guitar and never touches my dorky flute again. Go on and get her started now while her fingers can't quite reach.
Right.
She's got a daisy rock, but even that's still just a little too big for her. So
What's a daisy rock again?
it's a guitar, a really good guitar, and they're made for females.
Oh,
so
okay.
they're shorter, the necks are shorter, so it's easier for women with shorter arms to like. Taylor Swift plays on a daisy rock, and yeah, it's a brand like Epiphone or something.
Right. Yeah. My little one is a lefty. I don't know.
Oh yeah, mine is too. My little boy, and it's so odd. And yeah, watching him do everything left-handed.
Try to do certain things where, for example, he's like he has Taekwondo lessons, and the teacher does something one way, and he does it like the other way.
Right.
And he's the only one doing it. It looks like he's doing it wrong, but he's not. He's just doing it. It's actually a good thing in combat sports for you to be a lefty because you're a southpaw, and other fighters, they have a hard time adjusting to the way that southpaw fighters fight. So.
Yeah, it's really good for baseball too. And I can't remember why, because I don't follow sports very much, but either they make really good pitchers or really good hitters but I can't remember which, but I know I've heard people say left-handed is really, really good for baseball because it like psychs out the other guys or something.
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing for certain sports. But I wonder what kind of hurdles it poses in terms of learning instruments, because the guitar can't quite be the same, right?
No, and like who was it? Jimi Hendrix actually had to restring his guitar upside down.
Oh,
so
wow.
He could play it left because he was left-handed too. So he actually strung his guitar upside down so he was able to play it.
Well, but if Hendrix could do it and he was a lefty, then
right.
There's hope for all lefties, right?
Right.
Because like he got to the very, very top. Who's better than Hendrix, right?
Very, very few. Very few. Clapton was really good, but I don't know that he was left-handed, but he was an amazing guitarist. And
hearing that he was an amazing guitarist, the only thing I know of Clapton is, did you know my name? You know that one?
Like Cocaine.
Oh, Cocaine. That's right.
He did Cocaine. God, I'm drawing a blank now, but he did quite a few. Like he had some, The Way You Look Tonight, I think was Clapton, even though I don't know how much guitar was in that one.
Okay.
I Shot the Sheriff. Was that him?
No, that's that's cool.
That's somebody. Somebody did that song.
So we were just talking about COVID and the looming threat of another lockdown and how you were stressing out about that, more so than the actual COVID. And I'm sort of the same. I'm on your boat as well. But in case there is, they do hit us with another lockdown. Over here, we're already being hit with one where I'm at. But if they hit you with a lockdown over there in the U.S., what are the plans for the family? Are you gonna lots of Netflix and chills, or what's the deal? What kind of stuff do you
Well,
get up?
that's pretty much. We did a lot of like I would go outside and play like t-ball with my little ones. I bought these little plastic bowling pins that you set up in the yard. I tried to do as much outside in the yard as humanly possible, just so they could get outside and breathe fresh air and not be like the flowers in the attic locked with no
Which is what
sunlight.
you'd expect for like a disease that's supposedly, a lung related that affects your lungs. You would think that the doctor's orders would be go outside as much as possible.
Right? Yeah.
But no.
So, no, that wasn't it. But that's what we did. We did as much outside as humanly possible. I drove up to the mountains. We went hiking once or twice, as long as we try to keep distance and not be near that many people. I will stock up on toilet paper.
Of course, you got
this go and paper towels
and lots of tuna cans.
And lots of food, because it got to the point like where I had a lot of like meat in the freezer. I always I buy like a week's worth of stuff to cook, and I just freeze the meat and then pull it that morning, whatever I'm going to cook. But there's just days where I just didn't feel like cooking a full meal. So typically I would just, for the kids, make them a box of mac and cheese or, some chicken nuggets or some soup. And you couldn't find any of that. Like you would go to the grocery store and there was no eggs, no milk. And you're sitting there, you're like, well, I guess I'm cooking tonight. I don't have a choice. I can't buy anything quick. It's all gone. So
crazy how that was. Huh?
It's so insane.
Do you think it's going to happen again? I don't think there's going to be as much of a fervor for like, let's go buy everything. It's the apocalypse is coming.
I would like to think not, but here, like, I don't know about there, but if we get any kind of snow here, everybody acts like the world is about to end, and they're going and buying all the bread. They're buying all the, and again, I don't get the bread and milk during snow, because you're not going to have electricity, chances are, and your milk's going to go back. I don't know. I don't get the point. Maybe they keep it outside, but they go crazy for that. So if we go into another lockdown, I have a feeling all the rednecks around here are going to go crazy again.
Really?
I don't have a lot of faith in my in my neighbors that don't act right. Because I'm even sitting here saying I'm going to get toilet paper, so I'm going to act like an asshole about it. So I can't assume that they're not, because I'm going to, because that was
the good thing about toilet paper. It doesn't go bad, so you can just stock it up.
You could stockpile it. Like I had to go to my mom's during the lockdown and steal some from her, because she had enough sense to go and buy in bulk. I'm not a bulk buyer. I buy as I run out. So we ran out, and it's like, oh crap. Well, there's no, like, literally, there's none at the store. There's no, so I had to go and steal some. I feel
there's always the New York Times,
That's true. That's true. That's just about what it should be used for. Hey, Gaming or What? And hey, you guys.
Yeah, hey everybody. There's Jade Spider-Man's in the house. Wyatt Holiday, Gaming or What trademark. Sounds like a cool dude. And who else is in here? King Toad, of course.
Hi, King Toad.
And a few other people. I'm sure most of them are your fans, Mandy, and I'm glad to have them come into my channel. I know a few as well. But anyway, we were talking about Netflix and chill. Are there any movies that you got on your radar to watch? Because it's such a crazy thing that we're going through right now. Movie theaters, they're done.
They're done.
The theater chains, it's like they're all collapsing. Obviously, your AMC's of the world, which I used to love going to, like a good AMC theater. And
Right?
Just pay for one ticket and then just go to every other movie theater in the multiplex and watch stuff for
Watch
free.
all of them. Yeah.
That's the way to go.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I ruined AMC or if it was COVID, but I think maybe COVID.
I don't know. You may have done it.
I may have done it, right?
You may have been you. I have been watching a lot of older movies before they started ruining them, actually. So now I do watch a lot. Like, I'm really into The Mandalorian right now, so I watch that weekly. And then the other night I watched, what was it, Election, and I watched Addams Family not too long ago. So most of the stuff I'm watching
the new one or the old one?
The old one. I don't even try new ones anymore. If it's I don't trust them with the remakes. That's really sad. Like, now when I hear that they're remaking something, even if it was something that I loved, it upsets me even more. Like, no, y'all please don't do it. Like, I heard they were redoing The Princess Bride. Okay. And it just, like, no, y'all don't, because you're gonna ruin it. You're gonna destroy it. And yeah, I tried not to watch it. The last one I watched that was a remake was the live action Aladdin. And I was so turned off by that I have not touched another remake since then.
Yeah, I love, you can't do it. Why would you do that to Aladdin, right?
It was horrendous. It was so bad.
Because I watched the CGI. Usually those CGI remakes are terrible, but the Lion King one wasn't so bad. I thought it was watchable. But then again, I was never obsessed with the cartoon version, so maybe that's why,
Yes, maybe. So I didn't watch the Lion King one because I had already read like reviews, and I was wondering about it because how are you going to get the expressions and stuff like with the way they did it? So people were kind of complaining. Normally I don't listen. I like what I like, whether people complain or not. Like, I wore a Weezer shirt for an entire, I didn't wear it every day for an entire year, but I got my balls busted for that Weezer shirt. And they're amazing. That Weezer is great. And yes, I wore that with pride, and it was before they were popular. So
why would they give you shit flack about that?
Well, it was before they were popular, before they blew up with their Beverly Hills soundtrack. It was like when they had their Blue album, and not a lot of people were into Weezer. They, I got the same thing though with my Hanson shirt. So, but that one I deserved. I probably deserved to, kicking my Hanson shirt, but.
So you mentioned Election. Is that what is that? Is that an old movie or?
It is. It's a weird old movie that was it's like based off of a book by Peretta, but I can't think of his first name. Something Peretta. And it has Matthew Broderick and Reese Witherspoon, and it's about a ambitious girl that wants to be like the president of her school. Yeah. And the teacher that tries to take her down, which is Matthew Broderick. It's so good. It is an amazing movie. It's really weird, but it's one of those that came out. It may even have been slightly indie. It had to have been in the theater, but I don't remember it ever being in the theater. Right. It's an amazing movie. I recommend it to everybody. It's funny.
So it's towards the end of Matthew Broderick's heyday, right?
Yes. Yeah, I would say like 96, 97.
Yeah, Matthew Broderick is one of the most curious case studies for me because he doesn't seem all that charismatic.
No, he doesn't, does he?
He's not like a leading man. He's not like a handsome looking dude. So what's the, every once in a while the 80s just threw his curveballs, and Matthew Broderick was one of them. Like, why was he such a big sensation for a little bit?
I'm going to say Ferris Bueller. The character, the same reason Rob Pattinson is as big as he is. It's because nobody really cares about Rob Pattinson. They care about Edward Cullen. So, and he's getting all his roles off of Edward Cullen instead of, because I've seen him in other stuff. He's not He's not that good of an
He's not
actor.
all that. I've seen him in practically nothing. I like watched spurts of Twilight. My wife was watching it,
Mm-hmm.
and she seemed to be. She was like slightly infatuated with him. She thought he was going to be a big deal. She thought the Twilight movies were disastrous after the first one. She enjoyed the first one, but every other one she said was like diminishing returns.
Yeah, I would say my least favorite was the one right before the last one, the one with the wedding and the honeymoon. That one was really bad. It was really bad.
And what about that other guy, the Wolfman?
Jacob?
Yeah.
Yeah. Last I heard of him, he was with Taylor Swift, but that's been forever.
Gay porn, right? Wasn't he doing gay porn? Something? No, I'm joking.
There is no way he was. Was he? I need to know where. Where'd you say
I'm joking. It's just
give me the sign. I need to know.
No, it's just one of those things, right? It's just one of those things that, like, those actors that were once big and then fall off the radar. Usually, they have like 3 different fates, and one of them is gay porn.
One of them is usually porn. Screech did porn.
Well, that's right. Yeah, who'd have thought?
Screech would have not been my first guess for porn, honestly. But
or even that girl that ended up doing Showgirls. That was such a mind blower to me.
It wasn't even. It was such a bad movie.
No, it's terrible. But
it's like she picked the first script to where she could show off her sensual side, and the script was just it was so horrible that it wasn't worth getting the boobs, getting the boob action to watch that. God,
I think it was just Verhoeven, who was like a pervy director, and anyway, he decided to go like, all right, I'm just gonna like go all perv. And just produced a junk script with somebody. Hey, let's just find an excuse to get some boobs out there,
Yeah, it's almost like they wrote it. They were like, "Look, we have her on board. She's gonna show. We did the casting couch. She passed. We're ready to go.
Right.
Throw some crap together and get this girl on camera with her boobs out." It's almost like we're gonna. It doesn't matter if it's good. People are going to come because they're going to want to see Jesse's boobs.
Hey, so Peter Gilmore's in the house, by the way. Good to see you.
Look, I got it. Hardcore Pornosaur.
What is it?
It's a novella that I wrote, but Peter did the art for it. So
cool.
Yeah.
So Peter Gilmore, for those who might not know, I doubt that there's anybody that doesn't know, but he's your long time collaborator, right?
Yes. Yeah, I met him like 3 months into Comicsgate, and yeah, we've been friends ever since, and he is just a blast to work with. He's so laid back. He's a calm to my crazy. So it works out very well, and it's amazing for me to have an artist that I don't have to, like, I send him the script. And every page I get, he got it. Like, he got what I wanted from the script, and he shows it in the art, and it's amazing. It's fun working with friends.
So now we're getting to the meat of the issue, which is how you got into comics first, which I really want to know. Is it like a long love affair that you've had with comics? And number 2?
Yeah, a little bit. I originally, the first time I ever got a comic, my brother was stuck babysitting me, and wanted to go to the comic book store, so he had to take me, even though I was not his choice of friends to take to the comic store. So he took me with him, and while he was walking around talking to friends, doing his thing, I was about 5, maybe 6. I saw a Rainbow Bright in the Star Stealer comics. And
a Rainbow what?
Rainbow Bright and the Star Stealer.
What is that? Oh, that's where that name Rainbow Brute comes from, right?
Yes. He's kind of doing a parody.
I have no. This is the first time I'm hearing of it. Rainbow Bright, and what is that exactly?
It was a cartoon, like a little girl's cartoon in the 80s, and it was about a little girl that had a magic belt, and like, she had all her little sprites that collected star crystals, and that's what powered her belt. And She brought color to the world when the bad guys stole all the color and made everything gray and nasty. And she brought color to the world. It was huge. She was like a different kind of strawberry shortcake, but she was huge back in the 80s.
That's so weird that I've never. Oh, I guess I have seen this furry creature before.
Twink.
Yeah, I think I've seen it, but it's so weird that it's not. You know, I'm usually like a big 80s cartoon guy because, you know, I grew up in that's my era. That's my genre. But
it was probably a little too girly.
Yeah, I would have avoided this like the plague, probably.
Yeah, it was probably just a little too girly for you.
Right.
But yeah, he bought it for me. And, you know, after that, when he would go and if he saw one, he would be nice and he'd bring me home like a My Little Pony or something. So I ended up, you know, being shown comics, but not in like a traditional way. I saw comics that like a lot of the guys in Comicsgate probably, like I doubt any of the guys here have New Kids on the Block comics, yet here I am. I got them New Kids on the Block comics. So it was odd, but also at the same time, I grew up in a cul-de-sac neighborhood and all the kids, it was the 80s, kids played outside. It wasn't a lot of inside stuff. You went outside to play. And yeah, by that, I grew up in a neighborhood I was the only female kid in the entire neighborhood of about 9 kids. I was the only girl. So I ended up, as I got older, you know, the guys were getting Spider-Man. They were getting New Mutants. They were getting, you know, Avengers. They were getting all of these books. And I kept reading them. I kind of fell in love.
So you got into it. You got into all the boys stuff, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's really cool. And then the second, that leads us into my second question, which is, how did you get into Comicsgate, and how did you think? Hey, wait a minute! I want to crowdfund my own comic and fulfill what I assume to have been a long-standing desire to you know, put a comic out there.
Right. Funny enough, Rainbow Bright got me into Comicsgate. They made a new one. For like a couple years ago, they came out with a new Rainbow Bright, the new and improved Rainbow Bright. And I thought, what a perfect opportunity to get my daughter interested in comics. This is exactly how I was brought into comics. I can pull her into comics too, and then we can have that in common. And so I got them. I ordered them off my comic shop, and they were coming in. I went to go order, I think it was like the 7th issue. When it was time, the next month rolled around, I was ready to order the 7th one, and it was canceled. Which was odd because it didn't even fit. Like, she was never even Rainbow Bright in the books. I think there's one page where she's not just a little girl, where she's actually Rainbow Bright.
So they took 7 issues to prep the transformation into Rainbow Bright.
She still never became it. She was only like issue 1 for like one panel.
It's very postmodern take on Rainbow Bright.
Yeah, a little bit. So I started looking, why did this book get canceled? Through that, I found out about the whole going woke, found out about, which then led to your boy Zach and the situation going on with him, which then led me to, you know, you get in a rabbit hole when you're looking up stuff, which then took me, I found, I think Ethan was the next person I found. And through Ethan, I found Comicsgate. And I knew that I believed in what Comicsgate was, what their beliefs were, to the extent of which I understood them, which is customer first, great comics, you know, not dumbing down your books and trying to stay political.
I thought it was just a hate group.
Oh yeah, right. But I believed in what they were doing, but at the same time, I wanted to help, and I didn't know how. Like, okay, I found this movement. I agree with what they are doing. How can I help? Well, I thought, okay, I will do a lot of promotions, but I don't know what I'm talking about. How do I help people when I've never experienced it myself? And I had this idea that I had been, like I told my little girl stories every night. After a while, she stopped wanting the books and wanted me to actually tell her stories.
Mm.
Wart the Wizard was the one that I told her that just kind of continued and blew up to where every night I was making up these random little, Wart the Wizard stories. And from that, yeah, I thought I have a story that I would really like to get out there, but I don't know. I never had this huge dream of I'm going to make a comic book because I didn't know how.
Mm.
But once I found out how, then the desire to make a comic book was just like I had to because now there are people that can show me how to do this myself. Like, because there was never any doubt in my mind. Like, I never thought I'm going to go to Marvel and I'm going to get a job, So how do you do a comic book if you don't know? So as soon as I found out that it was a possibility, yeah, I straight up started drawing it, started coming up with it, and got my little girl like helping me pick out which parts should we use, and got her really excited and thought, you know what, if I can't pull her in with Rainbow Bright, I'll pull her in with our own book. And that's how I'll get her in.
That's great. That's a cool little backdrop to know about that book. But so you did the drawings yourself, or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on Wart the Wizard, I did everything myself.
Oh, cool.
I did the art, I did the colors, I did the letters. Because again, until you do it, you don't understand what the creators are going through, what it's like if you've never been an artist, you don't understand the pressure that is put on the artist because they are trying to be creative within a timeline. And that is difficult. It's hard to be creative when you're stressing things. It just eats all creativity. If you've never lettered a book, you don't know how tedious it is to sit there and keep double checking. Okay, did this read right? Did the bubble right? Is this here right? Is this, so I wanted to know how to do everything. And I wanted the book to genuinely be mine.
Your own.
Right. What I did. So yeah, I did have artists ask me if I wanted to hire them. People offered up, I'm not working on a project right now. I would love to draw. And I turned away about 2 or 3 different artists that I just, not this one, but maybe another one day. But this is my baby and I want to do it all myself. So I did all the fulfillment. I did, I had help. Don't get me wrong. I had people guiding me and, all right, Mandy, make sure you get Gemini's. John Malin, in fact, was a huge question answerer for me when I would, okay, John, so what do I do? And he would, okay, here, Mandy, do this. So I had help and, I had artists do covers for me, but all the interior.
John's great and he helped me out with my first campaign as well. But and so did you, by the way. So thank you for that. But what was I going to say? But Wart the Wizard was a big success, especially for a first time book, which as well as I do, that for first time creators, people are always sort of skeptical because it's never a sure deal whether or not they're going to fulfill.
Right.
And, so they're always a little bit, and you're now a proven quantity, so it's your success is only going to grow from here. And you have 2 books that you followed up Wart the Wizard with. You're not doing the art yourself this time around.
No. I got my one. I did my one book that was my baby. Now I never claimed to be an artist. I'm a writer. So now it is time to, I did my passion project of doing it all myself. Now it's time to let the real artist, take my ideas and make them amazing, which is, by the way, is the coolest thing in the world to me, is to get a new page in and see what they've done with my ideas, with my script, and they take it and make it into this just amazing panels and these amazing pages. And it's like, wow, it's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, and we're I've seen some of the art from Pirate Queen. It looks fantastic.
Yes.
This is the artist behind. What did he do that was really cool? A project that I backed, actually.
Sea Dog and Codename Kill Switch.
Sea Dog and Codename Kill Switch, which is based on, I think, either the writer or the artist's son's idea, right?
Yes. That is Polton's son. Such a cute little boy. Yeah, Mark Polton. Yeah, and he's got the cutest little boy. And yeah, that was his. Him and his son do stuff together like that, which is really, really cool to me, because that's kind of what I do with my little girl. So it's really, really cool. Not with this book, not with this one, but with Wart the Wizard. That's what I did.
Yeah, it's great, and it's such a fulfilling thing for the kids to see their creativity expressed in such a great way, right? And and to see it materialize in the form of a comic book.
Yeah, it's literally the coolest.
My kid also has an active imagination, but look at how cool this art is, huh?
Oh, Clint is just amazing. He has such a J. Scott Campbell feel to his art.
That's what I was thinking.
And I have always, J. Scott Campbell to me has always drawn the most beautiful women. When I think of gorgeous women in comic books, I think of Billy Tucci, because I love she. I think she is stunning. But then also J. Scott Campbell. I used to see a lot of his stuff in my Zenoscope, Grimm's Fairy Tales.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, he is just fantastic.
And we're going to go back to that page and all the other pages, but I was looking at the lettering, and that's obviously professional grade lettering as well.
Mm-hmm.
Who's doing that?
I cannot tell you who the letterer is, because Clint is handling that part. He sends it. He shows me the page, and then he sends it to be lettered, and then he shows it when it's back.
He sends it to the Faceless Committee.
To the Faceless Committee, yes. I do know that our colorist is Andrew Dollhouse. I do know that, because I thought that was really cool.
The colors look amazing as well. Let me go back to it. I don't know why I got off of it. Hold on. Yeah, look at that. Fantastic colors.
Mm-hmm. Really,
really cool. And you know what I like about it is that I'm ready for some. I want a little bit of a pirate fix. I don't know why. And there's other pirate books coming out from Comicsgate people. Mm-hmm. That are cool, but I like that this is like a melding of a space opera with the pirate elements, and that's unique. I've never seen it quite that.
No, it is an amazing IP. Yeah, she could best be described as like a Han Solo like character. And in the book, you will notice we do take a little jabs at Star Wars, at Star Trek. A lot of we did it very, very funny with our mocking of some of the destroyed, IPs that at one point we loved. Like there's a guy called Jay Irk, and he's a Captain Kirk type guy. I mean, there's just so much funny little goofy things, and Clint is amazing about sticking little like Easter eggs and stuff in there that I'm not expecting. When I see the page, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's C-3PO doing so. It's really cool. Yeah, it's fun. It's a really fun book.
Looks great. So this is sort of like a Sarlacc pit creature over there.
Yeah, she's standing there and she's like distracted. She's like on the edge, and she's like, hey guys, get a look at these. And all the guys are like, oh, and she's like, well, that's not what I normally have happen. And then she looks behind her and they're yelling because there's a monster.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
she thinks it's very There's a lot of little sexy,
For her
little
gazongas.
funny stuff going on in there.
Yeah. No, it looks fantastic. It looks like a
Thanks.
premium quality book for sure. I dig the premise of just, I haven't read it, but I dig the premise of, pirates and space
Mm-hmm.
hijinks. I think that's a fairly unique thing take. And it looks fantastic. You have a bunch of different variant covers as well.
We do.
This one looks done like it was done by like the actual J. Scott Campbell.
He's so Clint is just so talented. It is just amazing. But that would be Ava and the new bad guy that we introduced in this one, who is Commandant Raylo. And she is the commander of the Thought Police. So she's
this one, the girl standing next to this one, right?
On the cover, yes. That's
she's holding like she's the one holding the laser sword. She's a villain.
Yes, that is a villain.
All right. And who's this? And who's this guy? The guy with the.
That is. Let me think of what his name is again. General Zorn.
Zorn.
His name, Zorn.
Very
There's so many characters in this book, and those women are a part of her crew. She does have a crew of her ship, so those women are part of her crew. The blue lady is Alara, and the other lady is Zora Astra. So, and they are all a part of her crew. Her crew is a little bit bigger. She's got some more. She's got Krathar and a few more guys on the crew as well. But basically, she's just a badass pirate that goes around doing, pirate stuff. She's always getting chased by the Galactic Federation is always after her from past crimes while she is still doing crimes to, try to enhance her riches, because that's what it's about, right? It's all about the Benjamins.
I love this thing that you have over here where backers can feature in the actual comic book. Such a neat idea, and I'd be all over it.
Yes, that is our big one, our big tier. But you can be drawn in as a Mandalorian type character. We can't say the Mandalorian because of reasons, but a Mandalorian like character that you will take off your helmet. So your face will be drawn. It won't be like, no, it's you. We said it was, put your helmets on. But that character is going to kind of hit on the Pirate Queen, take his helmet off, say some smooth moves to Ava.
If I were to back this, would my panda thing be included?
Yeah, you would have to. How do you not, right?
Right, exactly. You'd have to. Yeah, it looks fantastic. Shall we go over some of these tiers? Or
sure.
Your future tier over here is the Pirate Queen Adult Booty Box. Wow.
Yes. This one was not originally our featured tier. We went with it because so many people were into it. But yeah, you get an art sketch, and then you get an adult art sketch. You get all the covers, all the variants of the covers. So you also get an art book. You also get a bonus digital 14-page story that is not. It's got the goods. It's definitely adult, but you'll get that as well, and you'll also get 5 trading cards and 6 prints with this one. But it gets you all the good nude stuff too. So.
Right, so you get a lot of bang for your buck. All right.
Yes, that gets you pretty much everything except drawn in the book.
And 34 have claimed this already, so it's a big hit. It's a big hit. And then you have just the book, which is $25, so you can't go wrong with that.
Right.
And that's been a big hit as well. Pirate Queen 1 cover B. This is the variant cover, right?
Right.
Which I really dig, by the way.
Yeah, both covers that Clint did are just absolutely fantastic. and in the cover B, you can see where I talk about how he kind of hides little Easter eggs, like, wanted baby Yoda toy, Yoba, baby Yoba toys, and you can see down there the stormtroopers, and you can see all the little hidden, there's power converters half off, and there's all kinds of. That's what I love about Clint's art so much, is if you look past the two beautiful women, there are so much just funny and crazy stuff going on in the background. And that is almost on every panel I've seen. There is some craziness going on in the background that's just, it's just so fun.
Yeah, for sure. He's fantastically talented. So 2 books. This one you get both books, right? The normal cover and
the normal covers, yes.
And the variant cover. The thing about printing all this variant cover business, I was all about it, and I featured it in my own campaign. But then I realized that it's treated as a separate book by the printers.
Yeah, it is.
So you're basically paying for a separate book.
Yeah.
And it's, for me, I'm not sure that it's. I'll have to rethink it for my second campaign.
Yeah. Well, where do you print from?
I printed from Mixam, UK.
That's where I print from, the American, but that's where I print from as well. Yeah, it's honestly, that part didn't bother me. It's when you start fulfillment, and I don't want to say this wrong, so it gets very, very confusing when you're trying to figure out, because not everybody buys at the same time. Like, somebody may back it on October, and then January rolls around and they're like, well, you know what, I got some more money, I love this campaign, I'm gonna get some more stuff. Which, thank you guys so much, so appreciated, so don't take it wrong, but the way Indiegogo is set up when you're doing fulfillment, it gets really, really, really confusing as you're trying to, okay, so they ordered this cover, and they got this, and they get this, and it just, for me, it was confusing, but that's just because you're using, Indiegogo. So
the thing with Mixam is that they wanted a set order. So like they wanted me to give them a list of customers, so I had to close out my campaign. They put pressure on me to close out the campaign.
Really?
Indirectly, I mean, it's not, but it's like
right. Like, they didn't mail you, but I mean, you still needed to. So
I needed to give them like a set list, So I was in demand, and I was racking up people. Every once in a while, I'd get a backer. And then I wanted to fulfill. We're not going to fulfill unless you give us a closed list. So that's why I closed my in-demand campaign as soon as I did. I might have to rethink that for the second one as well. The thing about these campaigns is that each one is a learning experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, your first and even your second. The first one mainly, though, you learn quite a bit during that first campaign. So then you learn enough that you feel a little bit more confident going into the second and third and fourth. But yeah, every time I'm sure there's going to be new issues, new something to overcome, or something.
Yeah.
So
the other thing is that I outsourced the fulfillment part to Mixam itself, and Mixam were offering that service, but they had just opened it. I was like, man, this is so fortuitous, because I knew that if I did it myself, it was going to be a disaster. And I got them to do it, but only the UK branch would do it. So I had to print it with them, but instead of the bulk of my readership was in America,
right,
and customers were in America, and it would make more sense for me to print it with Mixam US.
Right.
I had to do it with the UK branch because they were going to fulfill it from there, and the American branch didn't have a fulfillment center. So,
gotcha. Yeah, I didn't. Again, I'm a glutton for punishment, I guess. I wanted to do.
You did the fulfillment. You did everything.
I did. And I didn't even, this time I bought a printer and labels and I'm good to go. But every copy of Wart the Wizard that went out, it was handwritten. Every address was my return address. Everything was handwritten. So I had cramping hands some nights where, especially after you get done signing like 300 books and you're signing.
Right.
And it's like, all right, time to bag and board them. So then you spend a night bagging and boarding. And then, the next night it's, all right, let me start making the Geminis into Geminis. So you do that for a while and then you're sitting there writing. It's tedious, but it is probably the funnest part.
Really?
Because you're at the end, and you're so excited for your customers to get the book. You're so excited to prove that, or for me, it was more of I wanted everybody to get their book and I wanted to prove that to myself really that I could do it. And once all the books were out, then I've done it. I made a copy book.
It must feel good because, every single parcel that you're putting together, it's like ka-ching. It's like money that was
right. Yeah. And like some people I threw little like drawings if it was a night where I only did about 20. Because there were nights where I was just so exhausted just from the daytime stuff that I didn't do as many as I probably should have. I was just so tired. So I would do like 20. And some people got weird stickers, like dinosaur stickers thrown in there. Some people, it just depends on what. I drew little pictures of stuff. I know I sent a guy who his avatar is always like C-3PO. So I drew him a little C-3PO and did bleep bop bloop things on it. And it's, on his Gemini. So I did do a lot of that.
Yeah, it's cool when you get you personalize the experience like that. I think that's part of what the crowdfunding deal is all about. It's for the backers to get that sort of
interaction.
The interaction and feeling like there's a personal stake in it.
Right. Because that's what you're really asking them to do. Because most people, their campaigns when they go live. A large portion of first timers, they don't have that many pages available. You are literally helping them fund this book, help them pay for the artist, helping them, so yeah, I think that's really, really awesome because even with the Wart the Wizard, I had 2 pages drawn up when I launched. I mean, so I didn't have that much done. Okay. So, but people were still, I told them my idea and they were willing to take a chance on an unknown woman on the internet to trust me with their money that they're going to get their product. So over hell or high water, these people were going to get their product, so, but it takes a lot. You're asking people for a lot, especially like right now with the way the world is, you're asking people to trust me. I'm going to get you your product. And you really do have to build a lot of trust in your audience.
Goodwill. Yeah, for sure. But, and I'm curious about that as well, because you had a channel already prior to actually launching your book, right? Your campaign.
I did. It was about 2 weeks old.
So you weren't like a big deal to
No. I showed up to Comicsgate with 0 followers on Twitter and no YouTube channel.
Oh wow. So you grew like alongside like Wart, so it was like a side-by-side sort of thing.
I was growing as I was working on Wart the Wizard. I was actually growing. I started with, like I said, I hadn't been on Twitter before until I was researching, the Rainbow Bright stuff, which led me to Twitter, which led me to, your boy Zach, Ethan, all of that stuff. So I didn't have a Twitter account at all. I made it for Wart the Wizard. I did not have a YouTube. And when Wart the Wizard closed, it closed at, I think, $6,000. after that, I kept my channel kept getting bigger. My Twitter kept getting bigger, and during that time, I kept getting more sales. So it ended up when I finally closed the campaign and not just in demand, it went from 6,000 to 17,000 as I was building followers, building my platform. Because I did exactly what John Malin kind of tells everybody to do: build your platform,
build your YouTube thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Build your YouTube.
That's what I have trouble doing, but this is my attempt at doing it. But I have to start investing in doing movie reviews and stuff like that.
Yes, that would be great. I think that's how Cecil started out.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Was doing reviews for stuff.
Yeah.
Like movies. I know he ruined The Wizard of Oz for me.
He did. He reviewed Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, he reviewed The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, you reviewed the Wizard of Oz. How can you? That's unreviewable. It's such a classic.
Well, he brought up a whole point about how Dorothy was selfish because she took the sister shoes, and all the evil witch wanted was her dead sister's shoes back. And Dorothy was just a spoiled little child and wouldn't give her rightful property. And all of this happened because of Dorothy.
All right, yeah, a very cynical view on Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz, yeah.
But you know what? That witch is one of the scariest things I've ever. When I was a kid, I had recurring nightmares of that wicked witch of the West, right? West.
Yeah, I think the nice one was from the East.
And for my money, she's one of the greatest villains of all time. Just because
she is terrifying in a mean teacher type way to me.
Right. Yeah. I don't know what it is about her that unsettled me so much when I was a kid. And it still does, sort of, weirdly enough, even as an adult. So, I wasn't sure if I should show it to my kid or not. But I showed him in little bits, and he was totally immune. He was like, yeah, whatever.
They don't get affected about stuff like
we
did. No, my little girl has watched some stuff, just stuff that would have terrified me when I was little, and she's like, no, I'm good. I played Five Nights at Freddy's the other day, and she played it for years. She was into it. She loved it. And I would watch her, and I would see her do the little jump scare things, and I thought, that crap ain't scary. What's wrong with her? And I just go on about what I was doing. So the other night I was playing it. Holy crap, that's scary. And it didn't, that would have gave me nightmares when I was a kid. It almost gave me nightmares as an adult.
So there's a little bit of a war of words going on between Peter Gilmore and Wyatt Holliday. Wyatt says, fun fact, in the books, the shoes are gold. And Peter Gilmore maintains that they're silver, and they're going back and forth on silver and gold. In the
what if you guys need to Google that? Because now I need to know.
It's got to be one of them, right? One of them's right. So
now Wyatt's saying in the book the shoes are not ruby. That much Wyatt would give you. If they were not ruby, apparently they were either silver or gold.
Right. It's sort of like that dress, that dress that they had.
What color is it? Yeah.
Yeah. What did you see?
I think I saw gold.
I saw both colors depending on it was the weirdest thing. Depending on the day that I looked at it,
it changed. That with the shoes. Did you see the same thing with the sneakers?
I don't know that one.
Sneakers, and I think it was pink or a seafoam green. So it was really two weird colors, and I saw both.
And you remember? And the other one that I heard both, depending on, but that one was from 1 second to the other one. Was that oral hallucination? You remember that? There was it was a sound that some people heard.
Yes.
You remember it was a big meme I
do.
Yeah. So some people said it was one thing and the other people would, yeah. But anyway, let's go back to your books and let's take a look at this Super Dead book, which is right up my alley. I'm going to be backing this one pretty soon.
Oh, yay.
Uh, and yeah, tell us a little bit more about it, please, because
Okay, so this one is the one I'm working on with Peter. Basically, what you have is a superhero who has fallen. Our main character, Devour. He was at one time an amazing superhero, like kind of like Superman, just good, just genuine, like honest to goodness superhero where he cared about everybody, he cared about his city, he cared about the citizens, and he just wanted to do good. During a fight with a dark, a dark superhero, he crushed the Soul Stone to kill the bad guy. When he did that, he absorbed all of the dark powers and it mutated his own powers. So he no longer can fly. He can't, he's weaker than at one time he was. He's a little bit slower than at one time he was. But now he has some really amazing dark abilities that he can use. To say before he started losing his mind, the Soul Stone and the dark energy started corrupting him. So to save the city, he goes and he locks himself into the sewers. That until somebody up on the, until one of the citizens can come up with a cure or figure out a way, or he himself can learn to control his thirst. Because when he gets around humans, it kind of, the smell of them puts him in a frenzy. So cool. He's trying to stay away and give them time to help him. A few events will take place in the book. And anyways, he finds out that he has not only been living in the sewers, for the past 10 years, he's been forgotten about and replaced by a new superhero. The new superhero, Omega Atlas, which you're looking at right there, fighting with Devour, can be best described as a Homelander type of a hero. He doesn't give a crap. He is all about himself and his own wants. He could care less about the citizens. He's not a good guy. He's not. He's a hero, but he's not a good one.
He's a hero in name only.
Exactly. But the city is just in love with him, enamored with this hero. So, Devour comes out of the sewers to see like what's going on, and
this is Devour.
Yes, that is Devour. Okay. And he is that is one of the final scenes in the book. That's the big fight in the book, one of the pages from it. What you were saying is the clock tower is tumbling behind them and they are plunging towards the earth. Devour is trying to, use his claws to rip into, Omega Atlas's skin. Omega Atlas is trying to get his head back there to get him with the lasers, which, you'll have to read it to find out if he does it. But yeah, so basically it is a superhero who is, kind of crazy and lost and his head's not right anymore, who is very, very angry about being replaced. And another superhero that is, causing carnage in other ways.
Yeah. It looks fantastic. The art is great. It's really gritty.
Yes.
And what a wild departure from Wart the Wizard to this, right?
Right. Yes. Well, that's why I did add so many pages up on the, the Indiegogo campaign, because it is such a difference from Wart the Wizard. This one is very much my adult writing, not, Wart the Wizard was a all ages book to read with your children. This one is not an all ages book. This is, there is some really, really messed up stuff in it. No nudity or anything. It's not a sexy book, but there is a lot of violence, a lot of gore, a lot of cussing. So yeah, this one is for adults. So we did add some pages so you could get a look at the art, because Pete's coming off of Rocket Gal, which is much different than this, and also the Case of the Littlest Umbrella, which is completely opposite as well for Peter's style of art. This is a completely new style for Pete.
And that was a huge that was a sensational book in terms of its. I never got around to reading it, but it was a tremendous hit.
Yeah,
And I know that there's number 2 is out now. No,
it is.
okay. So is there some kind of like romantic subplot going on in this?
No, not even a little bit. That is a little girl in the story. That what makes him think that they are still remembering him for all of these years is a little girl starts coming every night and brings him a rose and just kind of checks on him. So and that gives him hope that they haven't forgotten about him up there, because this little girl always brings him a rose from her flower bush outside her house. So what you're saying is the little girl reaching down to give him, a flower. He always has to feed. He knows she's going to be there at midnight. She sneaks out. So she shows up every night at midnight. So right before she gets there, he goes and he grabs rats or just whatever he can find in the sewer to feed himself, so the smell of her doesn't put him into a frenzy.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Very gritty. Very up my alley. Sort of like it has sort of like a Spawn vibe, but more.
Yes. That was one of the ones I pulled from. I pulled some.
Look at that! Look at this.
Yeah. So that is Omega Atlas. That you were seeing how he handles a guy that is drinking and having a little smoke while driving.
He was drinking while driving, so like he completely splatters his.
Yeah. And then, as you see, he kicks the car into the tree and leaves him there, so it looks like he was in a wreck. Yeah, drinking and driving. Yeah, nobody was around to see it. So, yeah, you'll see on this page where on the news behind them on the TV on this panel right here, you'll see where they're talking about the car wreck, which is not at all a car wreck. It was Omega Atlas saving the day.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking at this page, and there's a lot of interesting perspectives.
Yes.
The way that the art is done over here.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. It's a little sexy. There's a little bit of.
Yeah, that's the extent of it. That's the closest you get to anything sexy is her going to the shower. In fact, after
I was talking about the dude, actually.
Oh, you're talking about the
guy. Some good coloring as well. Is this Peter Gilmore? He did everything.
He did everything. Yes, he did the lettering, the colors, the art. Yeah, he did it all. And that is how Omega Atlas deals with, bank robbers.
Yeah.
Instead of just getting them and taking them to jail, he takes a safe out of the bank and drops the bank vault on top of the car, and then shoves money in this guy's mouth till he can't breathe. Yeah.
So pretty hardcore. I like it.
Yes. And that is more of the lighter stuff. It actually, believe it or not, gets more gory as the story, gets deeper.
I've been seeing a lot of this going on, this homage to Spider-Man #1. I saw it elsewhere in another book. But this one was really cool. I'm all about Spider-Man #1 is such an iconic cover. I'm glad to see that people are bringing it, reminding us of it. And this looks really cool, actually. Yeah. This Omega Atlas print looks very nice as well.
Yes. We wanted to do those to kind of show you the complete art, because between the two heroes and their powers, it is like literally night and day. Omega Atlas, he does have what you would call, good guy powers. He's got all the Superman strength. He can fly. He can shoot lasers, and then you have Devour, who uses all of the darkness. But in reality, Devour is not he's a bad guy, but it's understandable why. He's losing his mind and he can't control his powers anymore. Once he comes back out and finds out he's been replaced, it's like his heart's completely broken. And a few things will unfold with Emma, that the girl that you were just looking at, that kind of a secret. So yeah, and again, he doesn't take things well. He has a problem with handling bad news, I take it.
Right. So we're looking at the perks now, the featured perk, which features both covers and 2 sketch cards.
Yes. Yes, and on those sketch cards, you will get one from Peter, and you will also get one from me. So you'll get a signed sketch card from each of us.
That's it. And how many did you have of these? Because I've never seen this before, where it only says how many you have left instead of the ones that you've sold.
I honestly don't know why it's doing that. Oh, we had 50. I don't know why I got brain bubble. We had 50 originally.
So nice. This came out, did very well.
Yes.
Some of the other ones, well, you get the just the standard book with the John Mayland cover. It looks tremendous.
Yes.
$25. That's a good deal. You get the Peter Gilmore one also for $25. T-shirt. I'm all about T-shirts.
Yes. This T-shirt is an exclusive to this campaign. It is the only way you can get the black and white Super Dead shirt. Eventually, we will be adding Super Dead merchandise to Comics Avalon, but as of right now, we will never add the black and white one, which it looks fantastic. I actually have it hanging up in my closet. It looks fantastic in black and white, and that is the only way you'll be able to get the black and white version of the shirt.
So you can only get it through this perk. You can't. There's no perk where.
No, you can do add-ons. You can do add-ons for it as well. But if you specifically want a black and white one, you would want to get it somehow on this campaign, whether you get the tier or you do an add-on later on. That is, if you want the black and white one, it would never be available anywhere but on this campaign.
All right. And the blank sketch covers for people to draw on, or?
Yes, or I could be convinced to doodle you something on there if you ask me nicely. So, but yeah, we love sketch covers. Pete and I will we'll buy each other comic books that we like. I sent him a Mars Attack one. He sent me a Rainbow Bright one where we draw. I like doing sketch covers. So I thought it would be fun to add. And then, with fingers crossed, conventions will start, picking up again, because I do plan to go to quite a few of them. So, maybe if you get a sketch cover and you come to the CG Con in Florida, I'll draw you one up. I'll draw you something.
So there's going to be a CG Con. I didn't know about this.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that is, unless something's happened. Yeah. Next year they are talking about a CG Con in Florida. I think Ethan is setting it up. So, it should be really fun. I think they're getting the Fandom Menace involved and getting Geeks and Gamers. And
that's great.
So, just a huge party.
Good stuff. It's a good idea.
It'll be super fun to meet all of these people that, I stream with all the time, meet them in real life and give them like a real hug.
It's always a good excuse to go to Florida,
And an excuse to go to Florida too, right?
So you get, sorry, I think I skipped one. Both covers for $45. So that's good. And the Mandy Summers sketch cover. What?
Yeah, that's the one that I can draw.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm nice. If you ask me nicely, I'll probably draw you one. Even I'll draw you something cute. Even if.
All right. So Peter Gilmore sketch cover. That's also a great option for both sketch covers for $150. Original Darkness #1 homage artwork.
the original art for the cover art.
Let me see. Yeah, but this isn't the standard cover, is it? Because you have the John Malin cover and you have this one by Peter Gilmore, right?
Right. This one with the one that we use for a lot of promotional stuff.
Ah, okay. All right. That's cool.
And we got a lot of flack for it as well.
Why is that?
Because they said that we were ripping off The Darkness.
Whatever. It's an homage.
Well, yeah, exactly. We're not dealing with rocket scientists here.
All right. Just art 11 by 17 Bristol board.
Yes.
I don't know what this is. You're going to have to.
That would be the Spider-Man 300 artwork that Peter did that we also did use for a lot of promotional stuff. And that is the original artwork for that one.
Cool. And you have a lot of different perks for this campaign.
We do.
So original interior art page plus both covers and Peter Gilmore and Mandy Summers sketch cards.
Yes.
A lot of stuff that you get on this one for $250. 720 claimed. So it's flying off the proverbial
shelving.
Yeah. And then you have this one, original Preston Acevedo sketch. Preston Acevedo is a really good artist. And
he is, and he did an amazing job with his interpretation of Devour and, just Super Dead in general. He did.
Yeah, and he's got a cool book of his own. I don't know if it's closed already, the campaign, but I remember he had a nice campaign going. The original Preston Acevedo. Okay, so that's that, and then all these have been sold out, so you can't get them, unfortunately. Wow, even this one for $400.
It did. Yeah, that sold out really, really quick, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. Okay, so 2 really cool campaigns, Mandy. It seems like you have a lot of things going on at the same time. Are you planning on doing more books beyond these, or?
Yes, absolutely. I will be starting fulfillment on, Super Dead, and then straight into fulfillment of Pirate Queen, because it should be right. Like by the time I finish Super Dead, I think it'll be about time to start up the fulfillment process for Pirate Queen.
Yeah.
So while I am doing that, while I'm doing downtime right now, I am writing up the script for Wart the Wizard 2. And while I am starting fulfillment, Peter will start drawing on that. And the same thing with Clint, while I'm doing fulfillment for, Pirate Queen, he will be starting the next issue of Pirate Queen as well. I'm keeping the same 2 artists for the same books. I love working with these guys. They are so fun to work with. We all get along so well. So yeah, right now I'm working on some more writing, getting some of my stuff done. So when these guys finish with the art, I can hand them more and just keep them.
That's great. You have a nice crew that you put together, and obviously you're on the same page, and it's always good to have that. With my own book, I had an artist who unfortunately he actually just bailed out from doing the second one. But the substitute that I got, I'm actually very excited for. But it's a shame because I wanted to have some continuity, some aesthetic continuity,
right,
to preserve that sort of deal. But the way that I see it with this crowdfunding business, the Tales from the Classroom books. They're like works in progress, right? And then once we finally get to number 5, which will be the final one of this first storyline, I'm going to go back and do like a redux version, a remaster, and where all the learning, I'm going to incorporate all the learning all the lessons that I learned from all these campaigns, and I'm going to have a really super professional book put together and hopefully get it out to publishers.
I can't wait to read the next one. I love the first one. So
yeah, thank you.
Super excited for the next one.
Listen, it was great doing this, Mandy. It's getting quite late here. I know you're like, what time is it over there? It's super early.
It is 6 p.m.
6 p.m. Over here, it's like
Yeah.
11:30. And I
Yeah,
have to
I
go.
would have picked the earlier time, but you know, when you were like, so you want to do it between 2 and 4, and I was thinking, oh, I hate to pick his last time, but I'm in pickup lines. I'm in school still picking up kids, so I had to go with the latest, and I felt so bad going with the latest time. But
No, that's not. I mean, I'm actually very thankful that you could make it as early as you did, because most people actually say, well, I can only do it at 8 p.m. my time, which is like 5 a.m. over here.
yes,
And
I hang out with a lot of the CGUK,
yeah,
peeps.
I got to start
So
doing that.
I'm very understanding. My artist Peter, he's 6 hours ahead of me. No matter what we're doing, he's if we do a stream at 9 p.m., it's like what 4 in the morning there. So same with Charlie, with her and Yan and all those guys. So I'm used to trying my best to work around not having you guys so freaking tired you can't even hold your eyes open the next day.
Oh, right. Yeah. I might actually feature in Call Me Mark's stream tomorrow.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, because he's definitely on my time. We're on the exact same time zone. So
Yeah.
he said maybe I can become a regular feature. So we'll see.
Oh, that is awesome. You guys will be fun together. Y'all will be fun.
That's a great guy. It's a great guy. So listen, Mandy, thank you so much for coming. Thank you guys
For having me.
for joining us. Go get Super Dead and Pirate Queen. They both look like great books. And anything that has the Mandy Summers stamp on it, you need to run out and get, because she's a great gal and a good creator, and nothing. And that's what we're here for, is to support talent, right?
Right.
All right, guys. So have a nice night. Never change. I'll see you in the next one.
Bye, y'all.